I was laid off from my job. Actually, had like a little cry sesh. The first year of marriage is the hardest. It has been such a long time since I have sat down and filmed a video, but I am back to film a chatty get ready with me. I asked some of you guys on my Instagram to send in some questions, which thankfully a few of you guys did, and I have been wanting to post on my YouTube for a really long time, and I feel like it would be weird like if I just started posting without sharing where I've been and like what life has been up to. So that is what I'm doing today. I'm just filming with some makeup products that I pretty much use on a daily basis. I did write down some of the questions, so we're just gonna get right into the video. But before I do, if you like this video, if you like content from me, don't forget to like and then also subscribe if you want to see more videos from me in the future. And yeah, let's just hop right into the video. Okay, y'all, one thing I forgot about filming videos is like I really get out of breath so fast. How are you guys? I miss filming so stinking much. It's so fun like interacting with folks on the comment section of my videos. So let me know how you guys have been. I really do miss posting so much. But a few of the questions that I got were like relationship questions. A lot of them were like, where have you been? Are you okay? Why did you stop posting on your YouTube channel? So I guess I will kind of start out by talking a little bit about why I stopped posting. Long story short is, if you guys remember, I want to say it was back in October, I was really on my YouTube grind. I was posting like 2 videos a week, sometimes 3 on a good week. And it was basically because I needed a creative outlet. You're probably like, duh, people who post on YouTube obviously want a creative outlet. That's nothing new. But the main reason why I needed a creative outlet was because I was laid off from my job. I know. I never thought I would be the type of person that would ever get that phone call mid-work day saying that they're making budget cuts and you're one of the people that has to go on the team. It is probably the worst feeling in the world, and if you've been laid off, you can definitely relate to that sentiment. I should probably tell you what I'm doing with my face, but I'm using the NYX brow glue on my eyebrows. Obviously, I'm gonna wait for that to dry and then do the rest of my eyebrows, but now I'm going with the e.l.f. Halo Glow liquid filter. It's like a dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury liquid filter, I think that's what it's called. But I'm just adding that to my face. But yeah, it was very strange, and I definitely felt like I was in a movie when you know, I got a random request to speak to one of the managers at my job that I never ever interact with. And yeah, I basically had, I want to say it was like maybe 6 months where I was still going to, you know, be paid severance, thank God, for my job. But in the meantime, I, you know, wasn't working technically. So I was, you know, getting all the benefits of what it would be like if I still worked at my job. Health insurance, I think I was still contributing to my 401k, but I wasn't working like my normal hours, which was so weird. I had all this free time, and so that is why I was posting so much around, you know, that time frame of like, I want to say September, October, and it was fun. It kept me distracted, and I felt like things were just great until I want to say like November time. A lot of stuff started happening like personally in my life, and then also family wise. Not to say too much, but like basically it just didn't feel like the right time to post, and I really didn't feel that inspired creatively to post. So I decided to take a break, and during that time I did end up fasting. Just to kind of get clarity on like what God really wanted from my husband and I as far as, you know, the job situation, because I was like looking for places to apply, but no one in Silicon Valley was hiring at the time. I think I had maybe like 1 interview, and I was just struggling. You know, obviously I'm in the journalism field, and Silicon Valley is very heavily tech-based, so you're not really going to find a lot of journalist-based jobs in the Bay Area. Actually, you know what? I think maybe I'll fill in my eyebrows So I did a fast, Moni did a fast too, and it was great because it brought so much clarity on where God wanted us to go as far as, you know, staying in San Jose. And I think he wanted to be challenged. I also wanted to be challenged. And so we started asking God, you know, what did that actually look like? I'm just gonna take a handheld mirror so that I can bring it a little closer to my face so that I can do my eyebrows. This pen is so cool because you can like draw hairs on your face, and it's not like a brow pencil, it's more of like a brow pen, if that describes it well. Yeah, so like at the time we were fasting and praying about, you know, where God wanted us to move. And at the time, we were getting more and more clarity about potentially moving to Atlanta. It's funny because that was the last place that we had really seen ourselves going, especially because I don't really see myself as someone who could live in the South, only because I really like California and I like the beach and I like the convenience of living by the water. No shade to the South, but it's just like Atlanta's landlocked. You have to drive pretty far to get anywhere relatively close to the water. Yeah, the pace of life is just a little bit slower, obviously. You know, being out here now, I'd say like it really makes sense for us to be out here. But at the time, it was definitely something God had to humble us to realize. And I'm so glad that he did, because you know, we've been out here since May and it's been such a great experience. It has been so eye-opening. I feel like it's really challenged our faith, both of us. When God told us to move, he made it happen so seamlessly and so effortlessly. Like doors just started opening for both of us in a way where it would not have happened if it wasn't the hand of God. How are these brows looking? I don't know. Also very random, but I did start growing out my eyebrows and it has been a struggle. If you have ever tried growing out your brows, you know they don't grow in like one shape. They grow in patches. So it's like this patch might grow faster than this patch, so it kind of just looks a little janky, but I feel like I'm finally at a place to where they look relatively normal, because before it was just a hot mess. But anyways, yeah, that was one of the questions, like how have you been, where were you, and like why did you take a break from YouTube? And someone did ask, why did you move to Atlanta? So that is why, and it has been quite the journey to get here. And now I'm just taking this Bobbi Brown full cover concealer. It's in like a shade that's like pretty light actually, but the e.l.f. Halo Glow filter is really, it's actually kind of dark on me, so it makes me look a little orange, but I feel like this really cancels out the darkness. Next question is, what did you learn from your first year of marriage? So much, but like all really great things, I'd have to say. Moni and I celebrated our 1-year anniversary in Cancun for a wedding that we were actually invited to. While we were there, we celebrated our 1-year anniversary because it like fell within that week. And it was such a fun vacation, and I feel like we got a chance to like reflect on like, oh my gosh, we made it a year and it happened so fast. And the reason why I feel like it went by so fast is because we have been just so intentional about still having fun in our first year of marriage. And obviously like things might change as, you know, we move again, or like we have kids, or, you know, we get older. It's probably not going to be as easy to have fun. But I will say marrying your best friend makes it so much easier to have fun during that first year of marriage. So I was definitely a little scared when people were like, the first year of marriage is the hardest. Like just be prepared to have such a hard time arguing and fighting with each other and adjusting. And sure, yeah, we argued and things were a little difficult when I first moved in, but I would say that it's still so satisfying knowing that I get to do life with one of the closest people to me that knows me to my core, and we have so much fun together because of that. And I would say, yes, first year of marriage is really hard because you are adjusting and there are a lot of things that you're learning about each other. But at the end of the day, it doesn't have to be miserable and boring and stressful as other people would make it to be. I am obsessed with this coverage. I feel like it's like so nice because I can still see my skin underneath. which is so nice. Do you have any advice on finding a good husband? Yeah, I guess look at who you surround yourself with. Sorry, should I do this first? I think I'm going to, I don't know how to do my makeup, y'all. I don't know, should I powder before I put on blush? Is it powder afterwards? I'm just gonna take this and put it on my nose. Just contour a bit so that my nose looks a little snatched. So I would definitely say if you have great friends who are really intentional and actually care about you and, you know, encourage you and do all the things like a great friend would do, I feel like you're more likely to marry that type of person. Whereas if you're hanging around the wrong group of people, going to those types of outings, you will most likely meet the type of guy that attracts those types of friends. If that makes any sense. I hope it does. But like, you know, maybe your friend isn't introducing you to this guy, but like maybe they're a friend of a friend and you just kind of happen to run in the same circle and you just meet for the first time. You might meet him, you know, at like a family thing or like a get together. Maybe not a family thing, that's weird. You might meet him at like a friend's birthday or something. Your partner might be in an adjacent friend group or something like that, and you might not even know it. That's like one piece of advice. I don't know, maybe I can do like a whole question and answer thing on like relationships at some point, but I'm just taking this Halo Glow beauty wand. I'm gonna be honest, this thing dries really fast. I can't put it directly on my face, so I'm just going to swirl it on the back of my hand with a brush and just kind of like put it on the high points. Does that do anything? I don't know. We are just going with it. But next question is, how is the transition of moving to SJ to Atlanta? Oh my gosh, guys. I actually had like a little cry sesh with Moni last night because of the transition. And you know, outside looking in, you could definitely say like God has had his hand over our move to Atlanta and it's been so great. But on the other side, I will say like a lot has happened all at once, and I don't think I had time to process that in the midst of the move. So I was like a little freaked out last night and I just started crying a little bit because I was so emotional about like missing San Jose, I guess, because I had not processed those feelings because there was just so much happening. Like we moved and then we went straight to Mexico afterwards for the wedding that we were attending. So I'm definitely the type of person that compartmentalizes a lot of my feelings, but yes, it has been good, but it's also been really hard. So I guess that's like the best way to answer it. It has been an adjustment, but like a good adjustment, if that makes any sense. How's my posture been this entire video, guys? I'm like sitting on the floor, so I know it could get a little bit bad, but I'm going to take this Dior, I don't know what this is called. It's a glow face palette. I'm gonna take the color Strobe. It's like this really pretty gold. I'm gonna put on my nose. The next question is, what are the challenges of married life you didn't expect? I wish I had like a really good answer to this, like a really great, well thought out answer to this. But I'm gonna be so honest with you and say that because Moni and I did premarital counseling, it wasn't much. I think we talked a lot about like the things that come up in marriage that a lot of people fight about. So I think that was always in the back of our minds when we would have arguments. And then we talked a lot about conflict resolution. So I think premarital counseling definitely encouraged us to have a lot of dialogue, encouraged us to have conflict and why is that such a hard word? And conflict resolution. So I wouldn't say there was much. Thank God for that though. Like it's always good to be prepared, especially when it comes to marriage. Someone had asked, what has God been teaching you? Based on last night's conversation with Moni, and then also, you know, just with the move and like processing us moving across the country and all of that, I feel like God has really been calling our family to just surrender. He's showing me that like surrender doesn't have to be really weak. It could actually be something that's really empowering. And that has been so hard for me because I am a control freak through and through. I like knowing what to expect. I don't like surprises. I really prefer to know how a book ends when I read it. I will flip to the very last page if I can, just to find out how it ends. And then God obviously is saying that we need to surrender those fears or those anxieties to him, and that it doesn't need to be a bad thing. It could actually be really nice knowing that we don't have to physically do much or emotionally or mentally like think out things far in advance, because as long as we are obeying him and abiding in him and surrendering to his will, that the path is always going to can be straight. I mean, honestly, like if I had that mindset when I got laid off, I probably would have spent a lot of less time emotional about the whole thing, because I definitely was. I was an emotional wreck when I was laid off. But praise God, I have a job now. Praise God, we're in the clear now, but I didn't know that in the process. Like I didn't know how it was gonna end. As I finish up my lashes, we're gonna answer the last question. And I just had so much fun catching up. I just feel like it has been so long since I actually got to talk to the camera. I have been posting on TikTok less frequently as well. And I think that's because I'm just like not as inspired on there either. But I wanna like be on YouTube more. I still love TikTok, but it's like, I feel like I have more of a connection with folks on YouTube, because you definitely see like a long form version of me versus like a short 30-second clip. So yeah, so last question is another relationship related one, and it says, how many months did you date before engagement? We actually dated, I want to say 4 months before we got engaged. Like officially he asked me to be his girlfriend in April, and then we got engaged in July. We ended up like meeting and dating and talking on FaceTime from November to April. It was kind of short, but then it was kind of long at the same time, because we were still getting to know each other, but we had met maybe like 2 times before we got engaged. Like, yeah, we met in April, and then May, and then July is like when we got engaged. But then we had a long engagement, I'd say. Like we didn't get married until May of next year. So like 10 whole months pretty much, which, y'all, that was hard. I would not recommend a long engagement, you know, if you can avoid it. Obviously, like we were kind of having a destination wedding, so it was kind of like a little hard to not do that, but like I'm just taking powder and applying it to my face. It's also hard if you're paying for the wedding in such a short period of time, but okay, now I'm applying some lip gloss. I had so much fun, you know, just catching up and letting you guys in on how life has been, what I've been up to. Really do hope to be posting more, but like I need ideas on what to post. So if you have any content ideas, if you can just like share what you'd like to see, just let me know in the comments. I'd love that. And don't forget to like and subscribe. I will be seeing you guys in my next video. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Bye.